We're completely winging this one, by the way.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Now let the bad thoughts out. This is a perfect episode for this shit. Half in a bag talking about marriage. This is gonna work out. I can feel it.
I can feel it.
I can feel the dun in the air tonight.
Oh,
Hold
Lord.
on.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the Two Dads, One Mike podcast. My name's Taylor. This is Mike, and
What's
we are recording the second episode tonight.
This is unexpected.
It's very unexpected.
Yes, very.
That's the word for it, I guess. First things first, we always start off the show with the drink of the show. Mike, what do we have?
We are hopped up currently on Hard Mountain Dew. We got it for the first episode we recorded tonight. We said, "Fuck it, let's go."
Let's drink.
So surprise, surprise, we got lots of energy
Surprise, surprise.
because we're 4 Mountain Dew.
Surprise, surprise.
We're 4 hard Mountain Dews in, and
Yes.
we're not tired.
I'm actually quite wired.
No way.
Crack them bad boys open.
We got it.
Going on.
Oh, that was a good sound. Cheers.
Crack it.
Oh, so you can tell it's not that cold outside because a pisser pot is not running very
Oh,
much.
shit. That's right. We have not heard it at all. Well, once.
We had one on the last episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, all right. So tonight's topic of the show is we want to talk about marriage back yonder versus marriage now. So essentially, marriages, from the 1960s, 70s, before our time.
Well, you're putting an exact time for
Oh,
it.
fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. And, compared to how modern marriage is different.
Mm-hmm.
And so first things first, I want to kind of go into the topic of what was... This is going to sound awful, but what was the household task, man versus woman back then versus now? And I want to say back then, I feel like there was roles defined a little bit more. And compared to today where it's 50-50, right? That's why they call it a 50-50 split. And so for back then, but the wife was the traditional, she was cooking, she was cleaning, she didn't have a job, she didn't do all of those things. So I guess my question for you, Mike, is when you were growing up, and I came from a divorced household, so I can't really talk about this very much. What was the vibe from your parents, and what did you kind of gather from that, the rights, the wrongs, that type of thing?
So the example I had, and the example I had pretty much throughout my whole life in every level of family,
Sure,
from parents to grandparents to aunts and uncles, was the opposite of your experience.
Sure, okay.
Right, so my parents just celebrated 50 years.
That's congratulations.
Right, so that was a big to do, and the more
did they have a party?
Yeah, we all went to a barn dominium. They didn't.
So that was for that. Okay.
That was their
That makes
celebration.
sense.
They didn't want a huge party.
Sure.
They felt, and this is a little bit of me putting words in their mouth. They felt like their celebration of their marriage was best celebrated with their kids and grandkids.
Okay, so their immediate
Not
family.
with
Sure.
all their friends. You get 5 minutes to say hi to this person.
Oh, see, and I'm all about the
Right.
the glitz and glamour over here.
I always knew that about you.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thrown
So-
2 surprise parties already. So
For yourself?
no, for
Oh,
one
okay.
for my wife and one for my mother.
There you go. I'm not against a surprise party or anything like that either. But they felt like the celebration of their 50 years of marriage, was embodied in their kids all
Sure.
happily married, and we have
And there's a village amongst y'all.
yeah. So I have 4, so 4, 8, 11 grandkids they have. So that's what they pictured as their perfect celebration was just spending time, right? So, but to your question of what was it like, what was the vibe like?
Was there
I,
was
I
there
I've
traditional roles, or was there more like kind of how
there
modern it
there
marriages
was,
are?
but it was a little bit of a mix,
Okay,
right? Like
okay,
my there was a time where my mom stayed home, like took a leave from work,
sure,
right?
understandable.
For a little bit
I
of
feel like that
time.
was like a lot of
Well, you have
parents.
a
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
you have a couple years where you got so many kids that would
Yeah,
be in
there's like
daycare,
a
whatever.
10-year hiatus where
Yep.
parents like or moms would be like, oh, I'm gonna stay at home
Uh-huh.
and then I'm gonna go back to work and then
Yep.
figure it out.
So it wasn't full out like my grandparents where the man did the work and the woman
When
took care
did
of the
the
house,
sure,
right?
sure.
So it was much more split, and I think it was like, yeah, my dad cut the grass and took care of a lot of the stuff
He did
outside.
the outside work.
He did a lot of the outside work, but he
That's how my wife and I are too. Where it's like
hmm
I will do the outside and she
yep.
will do the inside unless there's mice in the house. So
That
I
she
get
says
I
fuck
get
that.
short end of the stick on that one, but
Yep,
it's fine.
that's fair. That's reasonable. Um, but no, so my parents, it wasn't split like everything is defined. But like there were nights where my dad would cook. I think there was one night a week where my dad would cook. Like it
Okay,
was Wednesdays or Tuesdays. Like that was his
sure.
night.
That's his thing,
My
right?
mom didn't care what happened. She wasn't doing dinner that
Yeah,
night,
perfect. All right,
which is fair. Like
that's
that's
great.
reasonable. There was a split, um, and I think that's a little bit of the model that me and my wife use.
Sure.
Subconsciously is we take care of, and we found it is what works best for us is like she focuses on laundry and stuff like that. I take care of more of the dishes and the like cleaning up the kitchen and that type of stuff.
There's divided task.
Yeah,
Like
yep.
I'm gonna do this, you're gonna do that. It's great. Totally.
But it's not like I come home and demand a meal on the table and or anything
Same.
like that, right?
Correct.
It's much more of a team, and that's how I viewed my parents as is yeah, they had different roles, like they had different responsibilities,
Sure.
but it's at the point. So it was me and my two sisters, so they had three kids. Eh, you got to divide and conquer at some point, right? Like
You're playing
just
zone. You're playing zone defense.
yeah,
You're not. You're
yeah.
right.
Well, and they had like a rental property that was generating some income and stuff for them, and then when they had the opportunity to buy their cottage up north,
Sure.
from my dad's parents' estate, to keep it from
Yeah.
falling out of the family, they were in a position to do that, and they did everything they could to do that, and that was sacrifices from both of them in terms of how frugal they are and stuff like that. So the biggest thing I remember and the biggest vibe I got was pulling in one direction, teamwork. Like we don't have to do everything together,
Sure.
but everything is going in the same direction.
Yeah. So
Like we're pulling in the same.
we're rowing the
Yep.
boat in the same
Yep.
straight line. Correct.
Yep. Which you know, being married now 15 plus years, like not that that's the absolute hardest thing to do, but it could very easily not be that way.
Well,
Like it's easier to not be that way than to be that way,
right.
which is a little weird to say, but like it the only thing I had was good examples
Yeah.
growing up.
All right. You saw a good marriage that's still good till to this very day.
Yep.
You saw like this is how they split up things. This is how they do things. And that's the learning experience, right? So like from the opposite perspective, from my end, like my parents divorced when I was 10, and
Okay.
it was just better off. Like they just were like, I don't like you, you don't like me. It's just better off this way. Now, on the contrary, my mother is best friends with my dad's sister, so my aunt. And my dad and her talk like they're good, like that's all great. But they just felt like it was not a good fit due to some circumstances.
Okay.
And it's one of those where it's like I learned a lot of like what not to do
Okay.
versus
Yep.
what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's made my marriage very strong is that like I don't care about some of the little things, right? Where it's like if she wants to go and do something or she wants to go and like enjoy life, go enjoy life. You know,
If she wants to leave for a week for work,
well,
well, your kid
if
is
there's
puking in the background,
if there's norovirus, that's a little different. No,
which
but
just happened.
but right, correct. But reality is like that's what's required of
Mm-hmm.
us, right? So like I'm gonna be leaving at the end of this month, and
Yep.
you know she's gonna have to just figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
and that's that teamwork side of it,
exactly
right?
right, exactly, and that's the same thing with me. How I had to deal with the norovirus, and
Yep.
like she had a very important trial.
Yep.
And she had to go to it, and that's what we had to do. You know,
Yeah. It's the no questions asked. Oh, okay, yeah.
right? Will I give her shit for it? Of course.
Well, yeah, we all give.
You got to give her little jabs here and there.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
makes her really get riled up. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, all jokes aside, it's one of those where it's like it's a 50-50 marriage for a reason, right? Like you have to put 50% of the effort in, so the other person has to put 50% of the effort in to get to the goal.
Right. So I also believe that it's not stationary at 50-50. And what I mean by that
Is this
is
the twist?
no, this isn't even the twist.
Okay, okay.
This isn't
I just
even
want
the
to make
twist.
sure I'm
we
prepared
were
for the
talking
twist.
beforehand. This is a topic that he threw out to me today, and this is our second episode we're recording tonight,
Yes, correct.
which is strange for us. We haven't done this. I don't think we've done this before.
And we're doing a really
But
great
we're
job
hopped
right
up
now.
on Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
We're coming at you like spider monkeys.
Yep, exactly.
But no, so I don't feel like it's always 50-50, nor does it need to be. There
That's
are
fair.
some times where half of the team, right? So if you're a team, you and your wife, me and my wife, we are not
I'm not his wife.
a gay couple.
We support it,
A lot of people have asked us that.
but we are not together.
We are all for that. Like we are all about that life.
We have 7
we
kids
are not. Yeah.
amongst each other, not together.
I don't know that makes it any more clear.
Well, okay. Well, we're
That
not.
was a
We're
little
I'm
muddy.
married to a woman. He's also married to a woman.
Now we're just sounding weird.
We have children.
Right. We have separate families.
Correct,
but
separate families.
Our families often are all in the same place.
Yes. We live 2 doors away from each other.
So what I mean by it not being 50-50 is there are some points where someone like half of the team has had a hard week or something big has come up, whether it's a work thing
Yep.
or a tragic life event where like half of the team is literally just trying to figure out what's going on and whatnot, where the other half is like, I got you, like at this week or this day or this time period I'm gonna do 75% because that's what's required, right? If we're gonna divvy it up by 100%, there are some times, and I'm not saying that like, oh, I give 75 and she gives 20. Like that's not what I'm saying. There's certain times, and it's the way I see it is it's variable. It slides back and forth, and it can be between hours in a day. Like when in the morning when I'm at work, I'm just starting work. My wife is getting 4 children ready, fed, and out the door, along with herself,
Yeah.
to get to work on time.
100.
In my eyes, towards a family, she is doing 50%.
And I try to beat your wife to school every day.
Thank you for finishing that statement and not stopping it halfway through. It is a competition between Taylor and my wife on who can get to school
I
the earliest.
I
'Cause-
do occasionally text her separately, and I talk shit. Just so you know.
Ooh,
It's not all the time.
really? I love it.
But it's usually like, hey, I beat you. I just want to make sure you know this. Like,
Suck it.
Yeah, but it's again, it's very few and far between. It's like once or twice here and there.
My wife is very efficient at getting out
Just
the door.
she very honest to God, she is.
I don't know
And
how she
I've
fucking
told
does
her
it.
that before, where it's like I am fucking impressed.
I can't do it.
Hell
I
no.
can't get myself out the door
Well,
quicker than she can get.
I can't get
four
these
kids.
damn kids out of bed.
Oh my
And
goodness!
so for the fact that she can do that
Right.
and do it very well, that's fucking great.
It is more helpful when I'm not there than when I'm there.
Yeah.
If they got to get ready for school, it's better than I'm not there.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
She's got it down
It's another.
so perfectly.
You're almost a distraction
Yeah.
to the
Something's
rule,
different, and
Right.
the kids notice it.
Well, right.
Yep.
Right. And it's not like you're just your dad, right? But like, oh my God, it's dad.
Yeah.
Like dad's here. That's cool.
But so back to what I was getting at is that it's not always 50-50.
Yeah, agreed.
There are some times when my wife is doing 75% of the work
Yes.
or 90% of the work. There are other times that I might be doing, remodeling a bathroom, remodeling a basement, where she's on the kids.
Drywall.
Drywall.
Don't ask Mike about his drywall.
Or my studs.
Or
Look,
studs.
they're nice and straight. These ones are normal.
Or wallpaper. Don't
Ugh,
ask him about
fuck wallpaper. Your wife saw me get real angry the other day.
She told me. That's why
Yeah,
I
it
texted
was
you.
real bad.
I was trying to get you riled up again.
It was real bad. I was very angry at some wallpaper. It's working out, but whatever.
It's not to Mike's liking though.
No, I love the wallpaper. I hate how it looks, and it's gonna bug me every time I sit in there and shit.
Just don't look at the wallpaper.
I'll have to close my eyes because it's very hard not to
Close
look
your
at.
eyes.
So yeah, but I don't need to say anymore. I believe that yes, it's a 50-50.
Sure.
You're in this together, but it's not always split down the middle.
No, of course. Well, and
There are times where one person is doing more
right.
for the family, but it's never like a clear division, right? Like,
No.
while my wife is getting my kids ready for our kids ready for school and getting them to school, I'm at work making money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's not like I'm not doing anything for the family.
You're right. You're contributing in other aspects.
In that moment,
Right.
she is doing way more for the family
Yeah, 1,000%.
than I am.
Right. Well, and I guess
Right.
that's the thing, right? Where it's like you talk about the 75-25, 50-50, where I think, there's going to be days where you're going to have to like do more, right? And I think there's nothing, and that's not like I'm keeping tracks or tabs on how much I'm doing versus, because it should never be about that.
No.
It should be like, hey, what can I do to help more than this is what I did.
I did this.
Right.
You didn't hold up your bargain.
Correct. Exactly.
So that's why I have a hard time saying it's 50-50, because if you look at it like then it's like, well, I did my part. I'm gonna stop here.
Right. Well, like no,
And that's not
the
in my
work
eyes, that's
continues
not, yes.
with or without the situation at hand.
Yep.
So like I think going back to like my original question to you was like, what are the vibes like with your parents? Because you have parents that have been married for that long. It's one of those where it's like that isn't easy, right?
No.
Where, like I'm sure behind the scenes they fought and they've had their issues and whatever, but like they've gotten through it.
Yeah.
Because they understand that there's a common goal here. And and so I think for me, where it's like when you compare it to the modern day marriage, I think you can look at that and say it's a very similar aspect. Where it's like, okay, we decided to have kids, number one. And yes, is it hard? Fuck yeah, it's hard. It's
really fucking hard.
It's like all you want to do is just be able to have a conversation without having someone be like, Mom, Dad,
we
Dad.
literally are trying to plan out tomorrow,
Yeah, absolutely.
and we can't because kids are. I need this. I need that.
Constantly up your ass about something, right? And again, but that's just kids being kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think from the modern day marriage, I think you have a lot of people that are. You have I split them into groups, and what I mean by that is like you have people like us, right, where we've been married for a decade plus.
Yep.
And then you have people that are like, well, no, I want the traditional marriage where the woman cooks and cleans. Well, the problem is like that narrative is no longer really existing to a point.
Yep.
Like, you know, there's people that I know that abide by those situations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on them. Like that's their thing. That's not me. Like that's not my marriage. I
Yep.
can't speak on it. But at the same time, you know, I feel like that's a small anomaly compared to what marriages are actually like
Yeah.
to a point.
I feel like the vast majority it's shifting towards a kind of equal opportunity, like
Yeah.
a spreading out the responsibilities
Yes, of course.
to where, like, you know, it's the old, you see clips online of people going around and
Yeah.
asking seeing a family walk down the street, and they ask the dad, who's a teacher of your 5-year-old, like what's the teacher's name, like what's, and they can't name the stuff,
Right.
and it's like, okay, well, I'm not saying I am as in tune as my wife is to that stuff. But man, like I just went over my kid's my 5-year-old's math test, the first test scores he's gotten, and he's gotten as high grades as you can get.
Right.
You
Right.
know, like I'm not paying attention to that stuff and helping with that stuff, but like I know it isn't. I focus on other things at a higher rate than my wife does. You know, a lot of the finances I take care of. Like I'm doing a lot of that stuff. We're also trying to make sure that it's not like, okay, you got that, I don't need to think about it, right?
Oh,
So
you're always
as
about everything, right?
much as I take care of finances, we're also in a mindset, and we're kind of shifting that mindset. Like we need to make sure she knows what's going on too, because if God forbid anything were to happen to me, um, which has been all too real in our lives, in other situations,
Right.
we need to
You have to be
we need to
prepared for that.
both know what's going on at least.
Yeah.
Right? Like so it becomes harder to try to disperse yourself out. And that's where like the whole 50-50 thing, it comes back to it. Like it's not necessarily 50-50, because it's like you try to be 100 and 100, right? Like if we could all take care of everything all the time together, that'd be great.
Right.
We can't.
Oh, it's physically impossible.
Yeah. So, but it. I think the examples we've had in our life, kind of help us know that, okay, there's going to be hard times.
Yep.
We can get through that.
Right.
There's going to be struggles. We can get through that.
100%.
We're going to disagree. We can get through that. Right. And where I feel like some of the old time, I say old time, some of the older marriages, the ones from our grandparents' era, right? It was the man made the decision, you know, he did the work, did the things, but even still,
Right.
the wife was making sure the house ran, make sure there's food on the table. Like that's not a small thing.
No, well, and that's where, like, so I have a set of grandparents. So it's my mom's dad and her stepmom, and they've been together for like before I was even born. So it's my grandma and
Yeah.
grandpa.
Okay.
And like, if my grandpa were to have passed, she would be completely lost. And that's not like a dig. That's just like he's done everything. He's
Yeah.
done the bills. He worked. He knows how to fix stuff. He knows like he can do everything.
Yep.
And and she's just kind of like, okay, well, we're going with the flow.
Hmm.
And again, nothing wrong with that situation. But I think at the end of the day, like to your point, I think you have to look at this and say, if something were to happen to me or my wife, and same with you,
Yep.
where it's like, are we prepared for this to be like, are we prepared for our future?
Mhm.
Right? And, that's where it's like, okay, well, we need to have those honest conversations. Like, okay, well, tell me everything. Because if you don't know, because there's some stuff, I'll be honest, like there's some stuff where my wife just handles and it's just it's done, and
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
Well,
And
and we joke about running stuff by corporate, right?
oh, of course,
We
right?
got to run scheduling by corporate, right? We joke about that stuff. Um,
But there's a reason.
but my like in my marriage, my wife does most of the planning of stuff, and I have come to acknowledge far too late in our relationship that that's a ton of work
Oh yeah,
because
thousand
I've tried
percent.
to do some of it.
Yeah, it's
And like this is
it's a
exhausting.
huge task,
You know,
right?
so when she's sitting on her phone trying to schedule stuff, like I'm sitting there like, oh, why? Like we could be talking right now. The kids are in bed, but like now I'm realizing like, oh no, she's working on all this shit through the background,
Yeah.
like that I'm not doing,
Oh,
right?
100,
Like, and it's
100%.
one of those things like, okay, if I start asking questions, start scheduling this, start scheduling that, it's gonna complicate everything, right? So it's kind of like on one hand, like, okay, let her do her thing, but also try to figure out, okay, what can I help with?
Right.
Because it is exhausting, and that's something that I'm trying to improve on. It is like getting help those things that doesn't sound like a big deal, but
Right.
it really it's a lot of effort.
Like, for example, childcare, right?
Yep.
You know, that's like one of the biggest things for my household, where it's like, we have to, in summer specifically,
Yep.
where it's like, okay, 'cause obviously, like during the school year, it's school, whatever, and then
Yeah.
if we have to stay home, one of us just stays home. But in summer, you know, like the kids will have, so our plan is that our two oldest will go to summer school, and then they will
Yep.
go to the camp. They will go to the city's camp. The
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
the
Yep.
rec
Yep.
departments,
Yep.
and but that they're gonna go together, so
Yep.
they're together. I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? That's an all
Hmm.
day event, no big deal. But like our youngest one, okay, well, that's different, right?
Yep.
We have to plan out her day. So, for example, like if there's a grandparent that can't watch our youngest,
Hmm.
what's the solution? So
Yeah.
I try to like help take like a hold of that
Yep.
because it's a very challenging task to be
It
able
is.
to be able to be like, okay, well, this grandparent can't do it because they have this going on, or this
Yep.
grandparent's sick. So what's the solution?
Yep.
Do I have to stay home? That's not ideal because I have to work,
Hmm.
right? Or so it's like I try to take that from my wife so that
Hmm.
way she doesn't have to worry about it because it stresses her out. And so I mean, again, it's one of those scenarios where you try to pay a little bit closer attention to your surroundings,
Yeah.
and does it always work out in your favor? Not necessarily, but I think at the end of the day, it's like, are you trying?
Well, and that too, like you'll try to figure something out, and then you ask your wife 17,000 questions, and she's like, "I could have just done this
Correct.
easier myself," right?
Right.
Like, there's that awareness of trying to keep that um, uh, awareness of yourself, I
Yes.
guess, to know like, okay, sometimes it's better to just let someone who is good at this and efficient at this handle it,
Right.
but to always be there to help um, talk through it and work
Like,
like
how can I mitigate
how
the
right
situation? Right.
and how can I help? Because
Right.
sometimes it's easier to just let one person handle it,
Yeah.
and
Agreed.
then there's not three people on a text chain and whatever. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so like I wouldn't be able to function by myself. Like this family
Oh,
would
it's
not
like just this week
would not
having to
look
deal
well.
just this week with me having to deal with the norovirus and stuff,
Hmm.
by myself. I mean, it was one of those where I was very appreciative of the fact that my wife was coming home on Friday,
Yeah,
which was
yep,
today, and it's just like you take sometimes I think as a married couple, like most people will, they. I think the biggest thing is I think they try to like you don't realize how important that person is sometimes
yep,
to your day to day.
Yeah.
And so when you run into the situation that like I ran into, you're like, oh shit, like I don't know how. And I give my mom was a single parent, so like I
Yeah.
give her all of the credit in the world. And so single parents out there, by
Yep.
all means, like you're doing a great job. Um,
That's something that I I take for granted, and every
yeah,
once in a while I step back like, man, I don't know if I were a single parent, I don't know that I'd be able to. I don't know how everything would
sure,
function.
sure, that makes sense. Um, so I think for most people out there, it's one of those situations where like when you look at the your grandparents and when you look at you know younger couples, I think things were different, and I think there was expectations back then versus now, where I think back then, like when those individuals were growing up, you're looking at like Mima and Peepaw, and this is just what it was. Like women didn't have the right to vote. Men had all the decision making ability, and that was just what it was. And then, you obviously you have things such as like women protesting the right to vote, and once that movement really kind of kicked in, I think you have to look at it and say modernization of marriage I think changed, and I think that's a good thing. I think that like with my wife and I, we she's an attorney. She's a smart ass individual, and I was just explaining to Mike, like she busted her ass to get to where she was. She graduated from Marquette University. She has been at her firm now for I don't know, maybe a little bit over a decade, but she's been an attorney for probably 6 years, and she's 2 for 2 on her cases. She went to trial twice and she's won twice, and so like for that thing, like where it's like I will support her in any aspect, and I will do whatever I have to do to make sure that the house is in good order. And I did 12 baskets baskets of laundry the other day just to make sure that we had clothes and we could change sheets because we were dealing with an illness. But um, yeah, so I was just explaining to the audience here, like you know, the differences of uh, today and versus yesterday, essentially. And I
Yep.
was going through the fact of like how my wife has she's been working hard. She's an attorney. She's 2 for 2 on trying cases,
Hell
and
yeah.
like to do all of that and to make it like so the house stays in order. I had to do 12 baskets of laundry the other day or this week, and I had to make sure like the kids were fed, and I had to make sure like and again these are all parenting necessities, right?
Yep. Yep.
These are things that dads or moms should be doing to make sure that the household is in order. And so it's just one of those things where it's like back yesterday,
Yesteryear.
yesteryear,
Yep.
like Meemaw and Peepaw, Peepaw was the decision maker. Meemaw stayed at home, and and then women they were fighting for the right to vote, and it was
Yep.
in one of those situations where I think that's when the modernization of marriage changed for the good, because it allowed Mima essentially to have a voice in what the day to day was all about.
Yeah. Well, and I would. So thinking about my grandparents,
Sure.
and they were married forever,
Yeah.
75 plus years. Like they were the what you would think as the perfect, like, oh, the perfect marriage, all, but that doesn't mean there weren't rocky points, and I think the marriage of that generation, our generation would look at it and be like, wow, that was very lopsided, or like this, like how was that equal, how was that even,
Yeah.
and but it didn't, like, it wasn't an option to for them to, like, not be full in, not be part of that,
Right.
right? Like,
Right.
because grandpa was making the decisions and doing the labor and all that stuff. Grandma was in the house, but
Mr. Butt.
she was taking care of the kids, getting them lined up and everything like that. Who's not to say that grandma wasn't running the house from the get go and
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
convincing?
I think it was just it was the public perception
Uh huh.
of what that looked like.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Because again, like in today's society, you have this as like the stay-at-home parent, right? And I think that's like the big thing on like you see on TikTok and everything else, where it's like stay-at-home mom, blah, stay-at-home dad, blah, and they're trying to do that is a full-time job.
For sure.
And like cleaning the house, cooking the meals, picking up the kids, carting the kids from place to place, like that is a full-time job, and I commemorate those individuals for doing for doing that, because
1,000%.
and I've Katie and I have talked about it where it's like, excuse me, my wife and I have talked about it where it's like, that'll be an edit.
Yep.
where like maybe I need to stay at home,
Yeah.
and once she becomes a partner at her law firm, but again, I'm thinking to myself like, is that something I want to do? But again, like the stay at home aspect of that is like, I'm tired as hell coming home every day, having to do dishes or like cook or like do whatever. And my wife does majority of the cooking, but every once in a blue moon, I'll cook something.
Yeah.
Or like she'll send me a recipe, I'll cook it. And but like again, 12 baskets of laundry by myself.
Yeah.
Like had my wife had to do that, that's a shit ton of laundry.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shit ton of laundry.
You know what I mean? So
No matter who does it.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think at the end of the day, kind of going back to your point about Mima and Peepaw here, like Mima was running the house.
Yeah.
Like
It's
Peepaw was
a
just
foundation.
he was just a guest in the house.
Just about.
You know what I mean? But again, it was the public perception of, well, no, she's just that. She's just a woman.
Yeah.
Versus he's the man. But again, I would argue against that and say, well, no, she is the reason that shit moved.
She's a woman.
Exactly.
She's doing
The shit that needs to get done.
Yeah.
On a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so, for all the stay-at-home moms or even the moms in general that work or whatever,
Yeah.
it's a tough task to handle.
It is. And there's that balance nowadays with moms, more moms not being stay-at-home moms, right?
Right.
That balance of like, where do I come home with enough energy
No, I have 100%.
to spend quality time with my kids, and then like we're in a stage where we're dropping one or two or three kids off at certain activities, so that like we get home and slam dinner. We can't even make a good dinner,
No.
like
So
a good like
Here's
if we're
chicken nuggets.
if we're lucky, we got time to warm up chicken nuggets for him.
Yeah.
Like there's times we're having cold sandwiches because that's all the time we got, right? And that balance, that balancing act that so many mothers do,
Right.
like because their natural instinct is to want to be with the kids.
Yeah.
At least my wife's like that's all she wanted is to be with
Oh,
the kids.
believe me, like when my wife got home today for being
Yep.
gone for a week,
Yep.
the kids didn't want nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Well, you're an asshole. So.
Well, I mean that too, but no, but I mean, all jokes aside, it's like they wanted nothing to do with me because again, like that's mom. Mom
Yeah.
is she can do everything, right?
Mhm.
She can make me food, she can help me out in homework, she can do all of the things.
She literally created me.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
like that's-
Well, that's the other thing, right? That's a whole nother topic where it's like she literally had to go through, making you
Right.
for you to be here.
She grew you and then can sustain your life
Right.
for the first part of your life, right? Like it's just amazing. Who knew the marriage topic would get on a like us talking up our wives? Well, and wives in general, moms in general.
You're welcome. Just kidding. No, but for real, I mean, no. Honestly, yes, I agree. Like it's one of those
It needs
where
to be said.
well, it needs right, and I think like is marriage frustrating? Of course. Like no matter what. Like is every week a good week? Not necessarily, but it's what you do with the good days that outweighs. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's the old adage of anything. What is it? Anything worth it is hard.
Yeah.
Worth it isn't easy, and anything easy isn't worth it. Like marriage and being in love isn't necessarily just a feeling, right? It's continuing to stay in love with your wife or the mother of your children. That's a choice. That's a dedication almost.
Oh yeah.
Like you need to choose to stay that way,
You're 100%.
right? Like
Right.
that's not just a like, oh, I
You-
fell in
it-
love with one day and that's it. Like there,
Yeah.
throughout the years and through the because it's ever changing. There's new challenges every single day that you didn't know were coming,
No.
and whether it's, man, I'm exhausted, I'm physically beat, you know, my job beat me up today, but I still got to move around and play with the kids and do that stuff to like, oh, I've my wife's a teacher, like she hangs around kids all day. There's some days where her kids at school are rough, and she's like, I want nothing to do with any kids today.
No.
Be gone.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
especially your wife being a teacher.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, she's dealing with kids
she's surrounded
all day.
24/7.
And like the overstimulation part of this, where you're talking and you're like, oh my god, I'm fucking vibrating because
Right.
the kids are like, mom, dad,
Yeah.
mom, dad, dad, dad. It's like fuck,
Yeah.
and
It's
and,
crazy.
And again, like they're just being kids, and that's the thing. What you got to remember is like they're just being kids. And I get like life is hard and shit hitting the fan, and you're like, fuck, I am vibrating right now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's one of those where it's like they always say the actual work happens when you leave work
Mm-hmm.
and come home.
Yeah, work is more of a vacation
And
than
Work, right?
than
Exactly.
the shit we got to do every
You're
day
literally you're gone from your kids for 8 hours a day, right,
or more.
or more, and essentially like you only get to see your kids a few hours a day,
Yep.
literally, and that's all it is. And so for when you come home and you're frustrated and you have the right to be frustrated, right? You have the right to be like I just had a crappy day, like whatever. But again, that's not your kid's fault,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like how do you? It's a very hard thing to manage
Yes.
to be like I got to split my situation up. My day was hard at work, but my kids had a great day, and I need to make sure that they continue to have a great day.
Well, and I think that's where in today's marriages one of the main differences is that acknowledgement of having a tough day and needing a minute
You're right.
goes both ways.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like,
100%.
okay, part of the, Mima and
Peepaw.
Peepaw,
Yeah.
you know, Peepaw would come home, had a shitty day, and he's just an asshole the rest of the night, right? Like that's it,
To everybody,
right?
right?
Like it in some ways, and there's gonna be people that disagree with this, but to be in touch with your emotions enough and with your how you're acting outwardly, it's almost more manly to acknowledge in my eyes.
Yeah.
And this is my opinion. And if you disagree with it, that's great. Let's talk about it. But like it's harder for me to acknowledge how I'm feeling and say, all right, this is not my kid's fault. This is not my wife's fault. I need to not just put on a smiley face and be all happy and cheery, but to come and say, I had a bad day. I'm trying my best
Yep.
to like flip it around.
I gotta get my shit together.
Right? I'm trying and I'll have that conversation. I'll snap at a kid, for doing something minuscule, and my wife has helped me realize when that
Is occurring.
anger is coming out in a way
Right.
that isn't fair,
Yeah.
right? Like, and that's where like the 50-50 thing comes back into play, is that like I she sees it before I do. She knows me better than I do.
Yeah.
She can tell when something's up with me before I
Of course.
acknowledge it. I
Right.
might know what's up.
She spots
But
it. Well,
right.
you've been together long enough where it's like, hey, you're gonna be an
Yep.
asshole today,
Yep.
and I need you to not be an asshole
Yep.
today.
And usually that's all the acknowledgement that
Right.
I need. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm being a little much right now. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be back.
Right.
I just need to take a deep breath,
Right.
reset, and that's kind of what that's what we try to teach our kids too. Like, it's okay
Right.
to feel the feelings. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be mad. All that stuff. But to have those conversations, it seems like is a more intellectually challenging than just burying them, which I normally do, and like moving on,
Yeah. Agreed.
right? Which I feel like that was a big part of the older generations,
Right.
Mima and Peepaw's generation of nope, I'm just gonna bury that. I'm not gonna talk about
I'm
it.
gonna be a complete dick.
Right?
All right. I gotta check the audio. Speak to the audience.
Okay. So, the this is gonna sound like a rant a little bit, um, but I've had, like I said before, I've had a lot of good examples of what to do and how to be, how to act, how to overcome, how to um, love, how to share, how to talk, how to all those things in other examples, and it's never what I'm learning as I'm 15 plus married and whatnot, and kind of thinking about this stuff of how it used to be, how it is now. It's one of those, if you're willing to learn and willing to change and willing to be honest with yourself, that's the most important part. Um, Nothing's gonna last if it's so one-sided or so split up that, oh, I don't do the laundry, so there's just gonna be heaps of laundry laying, right? So like, in me and my wife have kind of divvied up our chores, I guess, is the easier way. It's what works best for us. I do 95, maybe more percent of the cooking, and then just kind of take that into cleaning the kitchen too, because I hate doing laundry. Now, does that mean that I don't ever do laundry? No. Like, I'll do a load here. I'll fold.
The audio is good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Um, I'll fold clothes when I need to. I'll help the kids put them away. All that stuff. Like, it's not a direct. Well, that's your problem. You're on your own. I'm gonna sit on my butt. Well, you are folding clothes and working tirelessly to do this, do that. Because there's always more to do. There's always one more thing I could do.
Right.
The other side of that is my wife is helping me realize that there's always more to do.
Yep. 100%.
Right? And I say that
And
the same words, but
and
the other tone of that is there's always going to be something to do.
Yeah. And I'm always
So
like,
leave that.
fuck you, bitch. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
totally. I hear you say that all the time.
Just joking.
No, but
just
like-
joking.
But I have a problem where if I feel like something needs to get done, I won't sleep. I will do it. I will stay up till 3 in the morning and
Yeah.
then get up at 4 in the morning to go to work.
Like this podcast right now.
Like this podcast right now, currently, as
Yeah.
we talk. But no, like, my wife has helped me realize that I don't, like, my decision making and like mental functionality is shit when I don't get sleep. Right?
Just like right now.
Just like right now. But like, when I go weeks without a good night's sleep, and
Yeah.
I'm talking like weeks where I got 4 hours of sleep, maybe a night, right? Like, it's happened.
Yeah.
And that's so prevalent when you have a newborn. Like, you don't get good sleep for a long time. We have a bunch of friends that are have a bunch of newborns right now.
You know why? You know the neighbor up the street from us?
Yeah,
He doesn't want to come out and play anymore.
yeah.
I mean, I'm kind
Well,
of.
because the last time he came out and played, his wife said,
We
"What
got
did you do to him?"
fucked up. She thought it was hilarious though.
Yeah,
To be
yeah,
honest, like
yeah.
we got so okay. So essentially, story time, quick. So
Sidebar.
the sidebar. So there was four of us dads. We went out to Lux, and then we ended up drinking a lot there, and we ended up
Yep.
coming back to our house, and
Drinking some more.
drinking some more, and we apparently we fucking went through like a tornado warning that night.
We legit sat on the patio watching
Yeah,
the
at my
tornado
house,
warning go through.
and we it rained. We went into my garage. We drank some more, and then the neighbor dad that we're talking about was puking the next morning, and
Yeah.
his wife was like, "What'd you do to my husband?" And she goes, "He's puking. It's hilarious." And I'm like, "Well, we got him fucked up."
And we're like, "What the problem is?"
Right? We're like, "We're here. What are you talking about?" So we're all good. Anyways, so
That was the night the neighbor called the cops on us.
oh,
I don't know if we've told
yeah,
that whole
'cause we
story.
went to your house.
Yeah, we don't need to dive. We'll save that for another episode. That could be a whole topic in and of itself.
Could be.
Neighborly responsibility.
Neighborhood wars.
Are you ready for my twist that I have?
Oh,
On this
shit,
topic.
we haven't gotten
We
to
haven't
that
even
point.
gotten to that shit, right?
Do it.
So this mofo texted me today. I said, "We recording tonight because he's at a week." I was like, "I understand if you don't want to record. I get it." And he's like, "No, I need to get the fuck up out this house."
The fuck?
Right? I said, "All right. So what are our topics?" He's like, "All right, give me a second." He sends me a handful of topics, all of which we'll probably do at some point. One of them was this marriage topic, old versus new, or old time versus new time. I forget exactly how you worded it, but like, and my immediate thought was, all right, Mima and Peepaw's generation, our parents' generation versus us, right? The other flip side that I thought of
Yes.
was marriage as newlyweds versus current. Oh shit, I made him get out the water.
Hold on.
He's taking a sip of water for this shit. No, so
All right.
that was, I wasn't sure which way it was. I'm pretty sure I thought I knew what you were meaning by that, but I was like,
Oh, no.
this could be both ways.
This is both ways. So your twist is newlyweds versus now, correct?
in your relationship.
Okay. So
How is it different from when you first got married, first couple years,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
before kids, however you
So-
want to dictate that?
so my wife and I, we are high school sweethearts, as you are for yours.
Yes.
And it is sunshine and unicorns when you are dating, right? It's like, oh my god, this chick's like, she's the shit. Like, I like her. Like, you know, we are horned up, all right, amongst each other. And you know, like we're like, yeah, we're making out in the hallway. We're like doing whatever nasty things you got to do. But then you get married, right? And like
Nasty things you gotta
you
do.
gotta do.
Okay.
You gotta do the do. You know what I'm saying? Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Hit us up.
Hit us up.
Do the do.
Do the do.
Anyways, so but then you get married, right? And so like for example,
Then all the wheels fall off.
well, not right away. Not right away. So you get married and things are great. Like you still have the butterflies. You're like, okay, this is the chick. Like I'm gonna marry her forever. But then life gets complicated. And I think that's where you look at it and say, okay, well, what's complicated about it, right? Well, there's a lot of shit complicated.
Uh-huh.
When to have kids.
Yep.
Like, what's your current job status?
Uh-huh.
You know, can you afford to buy a house? Can you, you know, do you want to go out with your friends?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how often do you want to go out with your friends?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that start to happen. And so, like, for example, you know, like when my wife and I, we got married, we've been together forever, right? You know,
Yep.
we've been together for 15 years, been married 10. and just like obviously like yourself. And so
Except a couple more.
exactly right because you're old. So
Fuck you.
so but no, but I mean reality is like okay, so you don't have any kids, you go out, you're and my wife and I we used to party together all the time. Like we'd go out to the
Yeah.
bars. We used to live from up the street from Wentz,
Oh, yeah.
your guys' old stomping ground,
Yep, yep.
and that used to be our place.
R.I.P. once.
Yep, we knew the waitress, we knew the owner. Like I was serving food at one point. Like it got to that point,
Yep.
and so we would stumble home every weekend. We go 3 days a week. It'd be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And but then we were like, okay, well we need to start having kids, right? So we moved in. We moved from the apartment to the house.
That puts a damper on shit.
Well, honest to God, right? And so we moved to a apartment to a house. About a year or two later, again we got married, and then we decided that we wanted to have our firstborn. And okay, so you have your firstborn. Well, the situation is that you don't know what you're doing,
No.
right?
No way.
So now you're mad because because this child or this infant is you don't know how to console it.
Yep.
Yeah, you went to all the classes. That's great. But at the end of the day,
Nothing can prepare you.
nothing
for
can
this
prepare.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. But again, like you get through it, and the firstborn goes, and they get older, and then things get great, and like, but then you think about the reward, and that's where all of this comes in, is the reward of the work that you two put in together, and like for example, like when the child potty trains for the first time, well that shit just didn't happen.
No.
You guys fucking did that shit.
No. That shit just happened
Well,
on a couch
right.
or on a chair.
Right.
Or
But
in their pants.
But it was the work that you both put in
Mm-hmm.
to get to that point. And so, when it comes down to it, like you don't have time to always go date, right?
No.
And for me, like I've always tried, again, tried is the key word here.
Yep.
I've always tried to make a conscious effort to try to plan dates or to try, and again, it might be once every so many months, right?
Yep.
But I try to do that because it's important in your marriage.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Because you lose track of who you are as a couple, and it's important that you keep it on the track because you're on the same team and you built this life together, and you need to get the track to the station or the train to the station.
Train to station.
Correct.
Yeah, yep.
And so it. But again,
What is a station in this metaphor?
well, and that's a great question. So the station in this metaphor is to make sure that these kids grow up to be good people, right? That these kids grow up to make sure that they are, as successful as they physically can be in life, because you did that. You
Yep.
and your
That's how that works.
you and your wife worked that
Did that.
hard.
We did that.
Did that. You know what I mean? Like you sat there and you did all the homework. You sat there and you did all the fucking bullshit for school. You did all of that stuff. And essentially
You watched your kids snap a boat in half and throw it at the wall.
right.
After it didn't fit down
You
the
did
track.
that.
We did that.
But again, like those are the things that will, once it's all said and done, you'll be like, you know what, we did what we were supposed to do as parents. But we did this because we had a plan, and that plan was to make sure that we could have kids, we could grow up, and we could get old together,
Yep.
and do the thing that you're supposed to do.
Right.
And it's hard. It really is hard.
It's very hard.
So I'll
and-
shut up now.
And anyone who says it's just rainbows and butterflies and easy is a lying sack of shit.
That's 100%.
Um,
If you don't fight, again, this is one of those situations where it's like if you don't fight, that's not a healthy thing, because you're gonna have arguments. You're gonna be like, you're fucking dumb, right? Not in that context, but you get what I'm saying.
No, and there's a certain point where you almost know your partner so well that you know what they're gonna say
100%.
to whatever you say, Like at some point you just say, whatever. This is where we're at. Whatever.
Right.
I I think as newlyweds, the biggest difference is once you get a couple years into it and maybe start having kids or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the biggest difference is your recognition and thought of the long game, right? As newlyweds, you aren't necessarily thinking like you're still in that honeymoon phase. You're excited buying a house or
Right.
getting your apartment or a condo or whatever it is, right? And you aren't necessarily, at least I wasn't necessarily thinking about the long game. I wasn't thinking about being married for 50 years, right?
Of course,
When I
right.
first got married. And nor
You
do
don't
I,
have time to
nor do
even-
I think about it much now, but like you have to have that goal in mind.
100%.
Be like, okay, today was hard,
Yeah.
but in the grand scheme of things, I love my wife.
Of
My
course.
wife loves me.
Of course.
We love our kids. Like that's the important part. Sometimes, like we were talking earlier with you this week, sometimes all you have to do is survive that day. You survive that week.
Right.
Survive that turmoil, that hurdle in your life that comes up. All you have to do, all you can do is survive that.
Yeah.
And once you get through your your toughness, your ability to cope, your love for one another is just that it just keeps notching up,
It
right?
gro- it
That
grows
love gets
100%.
deeper and whatnot. That like those old, Mima and Peepaw that have been married for
Forever.
forever, right?
Right.
You ask him the secret, and it's like, oh, the guy always says, "Well, a happy wife is a happy life." But it's not. That's very like on the surface.
Yeah.
Like that was a lot of years that went into him learning what makes the wife tick, what
Yeah.
makes
Agreed.
all that stuff, right? So I like the discussion of what marriage was back in the day, what it is now, because I think it's changed a very large amount. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like it's also like
100%.
I don't if my wife is working a full-time job just like I am, why should she be the only one taking off work?
No. right.
Like why is she the first one to offer to go pick up a sick kid and all that stuff? And that's something that through the years, like that wasn't always a given to me. Like it was a lot of times, oh well, so and so's sick. And then it was one of those, well, I can't miss work. Well, it's like, no, dumbass. There's nothing at work. Like I'm completely on the other side of the fence on that. Like there's nothing at work
They will replace you
so fucking quick.
so quick.
It doesn't matter.
Correct.
Right? If I died, they would replace me before
Oh yeah.
my obituary.
Before
comes
you
out.
were even buried in the ground. 100%.
Right. So I'm at the point now, and I understand so many other old guys that I've worked with. They're like, well, whatever. Work is work. It's like, oh, as young, you're trying to work up the ladder,
Yep.
work up your
You're trying to prove a point.
right.
Right.
Oh, I'm dedicated. I'm all this stuff. It's like, well, at this point, I hold someone who is more dedicated to their family than work at a higher regard than someone who is dedicated to the work as opposed to family.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I think that's the biggest shift generationally that has happened in marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to end this, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay, great.
I really do.
Wait, I'm about to fall asleep right here. Just
Do we want to venture into a Wisconsin or no? And can you pull one out of your hat? Could be anything.
Wisconsin or no? Eh? Ooh, do you have one?
I might have one.
Do you have one?
If you cannot find one quickly, I do have an option for us. So, but you look quick.
I'm looking.
Okay. Pause. Oh my god, I'm so scared. What does he have? Oh my god, Mike.
I have for you.
Yes.
I have some laws here.
Ooh. Law and
laws.
Order SVU.
Dun dun.
Mariska Hargitay.
All right, so Wisconsin or no?
Oh yeah.
Is
Fuck
this
yeah.
is this a Wisconsin law or no?
Let's see.
Or no? There's a strange law on the books that prohibits people from this is a very weird way to put this, molesting any muskrat houses, muskrat feeding houses, or beaver dams. That's right. You read that correctly. It is illegal to mess with these critters' homes.
Did you say molest? Is that?
That is how it is written.
Oh, really?
That is how it is.
That is not Wisconsin.
That's false.
It is? Oh
Also,
my
you
god.
answered that wrong.
What do you mean? Oh, sorry. It's or no. or no. Damn it. I think you should
This
have
law.
You should have four of them because I had four of my last
Okay.
one.
All right. So I'll do 4.
Yeah.
In this state,
Okay.
it is against the law to serve colored margarine in a restaurant unless the customer specifically asks for it.
Or no.
Nope, that is
Jesus.
a Wisconsin thing.
Fuck. Next one.
Next one.
I will destroy it.
All right.
Yes.
Who would have thought tying an alligator to a fire hydrant is
There
against
ain't no alligators. Or no. If this is a yes, we're ending this right now.
All right. It's been nice.
Is it really?
Peace.
Is it really?
Yeah. This is how it reads. Who would have thought that tying an alligator to a fire hydrant is against the law in Wisconsin? Yes, you heard it right. Whoever tried to attempt such bizarre thing in the state would have to face the consequences. So if you come across an alligator during your Wisconsin trip, please do not think about securing it to a fire hydrant, or you might end up facing the law.
There's no fucking alligators in Wisconsin.
There's been a couple. People have released them.
Well, they shouldn't. Anyways, continue.
All right, last
one.
It is illegal in this state to sound your vehicle's horn needlessly or unreasonably.
Fuck it. Or no.
That's
all Wisconsin?
They were all Wisconsin.
God damn it.
I just Google searched 10 strange Wisconsin laws. And this is where it ended up.
All right. There you go.
That was fun.
That's our session of
Don't
Wisconsin.
tie up your alligator to a fire hydrant.
Right, exactly. So, Mike, I actually did hear that you have a awesome deal on some sunflower seeds.
Only if you like 10% off.
What? Jesus Christopher. That's a steal of a deal.
That's a steal for the best sunflower seeds you ever put
100%.
in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth. They're awesome. They're made by Smackin'.
Okay. How many flavors does Smackin' have? Do you know?
A ton.
Is it over like 20?
I bet you it's over 20 by now.
Churros are pretty good.
They don't make actual churros,
Correct.
but the sunflower seeds
Right.
that taste like churros
right.
are amazing. They have a maple brown sugar that's to die for. I have like a morning seed
Yeah.
and an afternoon seed. Cheddar jalapeno is like my afternoon seed.
Is it so good that it's gonna make me want to smack your mama?
Yeah.
All right.
You
Fuck
smack your mama.
Smack your mama. All right.
Maybe your grandmama.
All right.
Maybe Meemaw. Maybe
Ma.
Meemaw's getting smacked because the smacking is so good. Um, I could take that down a different road too, but I'm not going to. So yeah, we have a 10% off link right here.
Right here.
We'll put it in the comments or somewhere in the description here on YouTube, on whatever site, Spotify, whatever. You can always, if you need that site or that link, it is www.smackin www.smackinsunflowerseeds. Yep, that's only once. I just repeated that unnecessarily. This is the greatest advertisement ever. smackinsunflowerseeds.com/2dads1mic. That is the number 2 DADS, the number 1 MIC.
And they're so good, they're gonna make me want to smack your mama.
Yeah, not my mama, your mama,
Correct.
or
exactly.
whoever's mama.
Right. Whoever buys it.
So hit that up. I'll put that link somewhere, either on the video here. I'll put it up here on the video. I don't know if I'll be able to get it to be a link or not, but
Right. We'll figure it out.
we'll do that, and then we'll put it in the comments. If nothing else, it'll be in the comments.
Yes, exactly. So, on that note, thank you for joining us on the Two Dads One Mic podcast. My name is Taylor. That's Mike. Peace.
Peace.
All right.